as he wraps up his pro day and really his Notre Dame career, we get a chance to welcome in the guy that brought him to campus, Coach Freeman. Great to see you.
I sit there and look at his hair, man. It's that flow. You know, he's got the hair.
Made for TV.
I've never been so envious of someone in my entire life. I see the hair and I'm like, why could I not have what Sam Hartman had? But alas, that's why he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
Yeah. He's blessed with many talents, right? The hair, the arm strength, the smarts. We always have a saying that God is fair. He's been gifted.
Yeah. A little unfair to him. I want to ask you, this is your third year in this position for Pro Day. Just this day, this is my first time being in the building while it's going on. I've talked to Corey. It's just kind of a unique environment, kind of a different buzz, nervous energy maybe just because of the uniqueness. What's your impression of this day now going through it as the head coach for the third time?
Well, I think sometimes as players, I've had a pro day that you put so much into this moment. It's like the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. But the reality is I try to tell them you have to prepare. But understand, this is to confirm the things they see on your film. And your play has put you in this position. So I try to get those guys to relax a little bit and do what they've always done. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of pressure that I'm sure is self-imposed. But I want them to try to enjoy this opportunity because you only get to do it once.
Yeah.
What did you think about Sam's deep balls?
It's impressive. He's got a strong arm. I've seen it plenty of times in practice. It's so funny because you always, not you, but a lot of people judge the effectiveness of a deep ball by is it a catch or is it an incompletion? And the reality is there's so much more that goes into it. And so you can't just look at the outcome with Sam and some of his throws, man. He's got a beautiful arm, a strong arm, and he has a great touch on it.
The other guy I wanted to ask about, Coach, I thought there was a lot of attention paid to Audric coming in 4.71 at Indy. I think we all know he's faster than that. Then he proved it today, 4.58. Just from your standpoint, we know the kind of player he is. How validating and how good was it just to see him get that time and maybe just put to rest some of the talk about the 40 time?
Yeah, I think for me, I've watched 5 or 6 plays from this past season where Audric Estime outruns a defense and nobody comes close to him. So I knew, listen, Audric is plenty fast. I know personally for him, he wanted to go out and show that, hey, I'm faster than a 4.7, and he proved that today.
Mm-hmm. I want to talk about Blake Fisher. In my mind, I'm thinking, I know he played right tackle, but I'm like, this guy's a left tackle. In your mind, where do you see him fitting in at the next level? Just out of curiosity.
I mean, he can do it all. He started his first game at Notre Dame as a left tackle as a true freshman. I made sure I told the scouts that he can play left tackle. Go watch the first game in 2021 versus Florida State, where he was the starting left tackle and then had a meniscus injury after that. And then Joe Alt became the left tackle, so Blake became the right tackle. Yeah. But listen, he's big, athletic, smart, powerful. He can play either side of the offensive line.
I want to know what your role is like on a day like today and in the lead up, because you talked to the players and you're in this weird limbo where you're getting ready to start the next season, but you want to make sure you send these guys out the right way. How often do you talk to the guys about this moment? Do they come to you and ask for advice? Do you try to give it to them or wait? Just how does that dynamic work? Because it's kind of this unique spot where you're sending them on their way. It's like sending kids off to college when you're a parent. What's it like for you?
Well, I think the visits to my office are actually a lot more frequent now that they're done playing.
Right.
Usually when they're playing, it's like, oh, I got to go see Coach Freeman. What does he want now? But, those guys have been popping in my office. It's so good to have them back. And as I told you, I tell them to enjoy it somehow, some way, try to enjoy this process. And then for me, it's one, I want to be out here, number one, to support them, right? And let them know that, man, like everybody's here to support you, especially because what you've done for Notre Dame. But two, a lot of scouts, a lot of GMs and coaches, they want to ask you, personal questions about each individual. And so you just try to be as honest as you can and giving them feedback.
I was telling Tony this. I'm like, and you mentioned it, Pro Day is just a part of the very complicated formula. But a lot of it comes down to just the time before and after with the scout and just do I like you as a person? Do I want to work with you as a coworker? How important is that in the process of evaluating one of these young guys, like that off-side channeling with the scouts and coaches?
Yeah, it's really important because now you're adding the element of money, you're adding free time, and they want to make sure they know the entire person that they're investing this money into. And so it's so important that they make that connection. They want to know who this guy is going to be with money and when he doesn't have somebody checking on him 24 hours a day. And so I think that's really important. Fortunate for us, man, these guys are all great young men. I've said this before, Notre Dame attracts just ultimate people. And I don't think any of them have an issue with making sure they know they're going to thrive at the next level.
Coach, when you were in India, I know we saw your combine footage, but you said you participated in a pro day. Do you remember your numbers at all? Can I get a 40 time from you? You come on, you got to know your 40.
No, it was
all right. Well,
it was.
Want to take a look? You can get the numbers right there.
I'll tell you what, that looks pretty good. I'll take that 4.51. All right, whoever typed that up, I appreciate it. I didn't know it was that fast, but I'll take it.
Fifth round seems a little low if I just go off those numbers.
No, because you know what? That's a great example. It still goes back to your film. Mm-hmm. Like this it confirms or validates what you see on film. And that's why film is most important. That's what I'm telling these guys that are participating. Take the pressure off. Your film will speak for itself. Now go and prepare and have fun.
What about Maris? I was thinking about like some great defensive guys. I mentioned like the 1985 Bears. That team is just they say you almost want to be known by like who hit me. I didn't know who it was on the Bears, but I know it was that guy because of the way it felt.
Yeah.
When you think about the fingerprint of his hits, like how would you describe his play and how he is as a linebacker?
Oh, he is an explosive physical football player. And a lot of my conversations with Maris early on in my career here at Notre Dame was how to control that speed and that violence, right? We have to control it. You just can't be out of control running into people and just hitting people for no reason. You have to control it. And so he's done a much better job of learning how to really play the linebacker position, but he is as physical and explosive as of a linebacker I've ever been around. And so he continues to get better and better and better. And his ceiling is extremely high.
Coach, we appreciate you stopping by the set. We're going to let you get back there. I know this is a huge day for you because it is the culmination of a lot of work that you guys put in to help these guys get to the next level. So I hope you get a chance to enjoy it today with some of the players and see them kind of reap the benefits of all the hard work. And thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely, man.